I decided to make this video because I'm really passionate about the specific program that I'm going to be talking about today, and I use it in my first grade classroom, and the program is called Rime Magic. So it's a super awesome literacy program that helps students learn how to read words by identifying the rhyme in words. And what I really like about it is it says that it is intervention and prevention, and it's only about 5 minutes per day, but you can do it a little bit longer depending on the needs of your students. So what this program comes with is it comes with a detailed guide that tells you all about how to implement the program, the steps to take, and why it's really important for students to be decoding words, and just the importance and urgency of literacy and using this program. And then it comes with the entire box that has all of the rhyme cards in it, and it has a few stories and poems in it. So just everything that you're going to need to be teaching Rime Magic. And then it also comes with something really cool, which is a power pack. And the power pack has just a whole entire box of a bunch of rhymes. So the first part of Rime Magic is to make sure that students know all of the vowel sounds, because every single rhyme has a vowel sound in it. So you review the sound of all the vowels. You would talk about the pictures. What sound do they start with? Do you know anything that starts with one of these vowels or has a vowel in it? And just make sure the students are really familiar with the vowels. Once the students are familiar with the vowels and understand what makes a vowel, then you move on to the first part, which is making sure that students know the first set of rhyme cards. So this is super important. And you can do this however long it takes in your classroom. There's specific time increments on the guide I'm looking at, but whatever fits your students' needs the best, depending on if you're in whole group or you're individual, one-on-one, or small group instruction. So this is the first set of rhyme cards, and there's also another set of rhyme cards that comes a little bit later. So you would flash the rhyme cards with students, and it's really important you do it 3 times. That's just specified in the directions. So you do this with students. If your students do not know how to decode this yet, you could say, what sound does I make? Eh. What sound does T make? T. What's the rhyme? It. It. Ut. Am. And then ab. It's kind of weird because I'm looking at the camera. So that's the first step that you do for Rime Magic, making sure that students understand what the rhymes are, because they're going to be seeing these in a lot of words that they're going to be reading. So once the students know all of the rhyme cards, then you can start to use these cards to spell single syllable words. And what I really like about Rime Magic is on the back, they do have words that can help you figure out which single syllable words to spell. So for example, this is a multisyllabic word right here. It's crabby, but you could pick the word crab with students. And in the directions, it really specifies making sure that you are using your fingers when you're spelling out words. So you'd be like, okay, everyone, let's spell out the word crab. Crab. C-R-A-B. Crab. And then you could do mom. Mom. M-O-M. Mom. And if you have really early learners or students in an intervention group, then you can just help the students come up with words and figure out how you might spell the words. But it's really important that you're using the fingers when you're spelling one syllable words. So after you're good with spelling and you're building that spelling connection, the sound spelling connection, then you can move on to the inflectional ending cards, which are s, d, t, or id, ing, est, y, and e, and o. And depending on your class, you'll have different sets of sounds for the endings. Like for a Y, you might just say E instead of Y. So it honestly just depends. But make sure that the students know this. Talk about words that have these endings. You can use these cards like, oh, mommy, mommy. What does mommy end with? Sometimes Y says I or E. So you can use this card with students to teach them the inflectional endings. And then once you introduce these inflectional endings in like 2 and 3 syllable words, then you can go ahead and you can use the same Rime Magic Power Pack and you can spell multisyllabic words. So for example, you could on this card, you could say, okay, everyone say mommy, mommy, M-O-M-M-Y, mommy. And don't tell them the double the consonant rules yet. Just keep it hidden. Everyone say hemming, 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 H-E-M-M-I-N-G, hemming. Ooh, what's our rhyme? Ought. All right, let's spell bottle. B-O-T-T-L-E. And it's a little bit less awkward when you're not looking at a camera. But once the students know these rhyme cards, you've gone over the spelling multisyllabic words with the students, with the inflectional endings, then you're on to the magic of Rime Magic. This is the most amazing part. You will get goosebumps, you will get chills. The students love it. You can play games with it. It's great. So in this power pack, I call them levels of rhyme of words, because the first set is pretty simple. So it only has 1 inflectional ending. And then the second set has 2 inflectional endings, ol and ing, or just endings, depending on if you know the inflectional ending rules, like from singular to plural. Honestly, sometimes I even forget. I just call them inflectional endings. And then the super complicated words with the harder rhymes in them, which I'll get to. So this is a super cool part. So you show the students these cards and you tell them that you're going to be helping them break apart and read words. So you'll show this word to students and you will use your hands. This is a really important part. So you'll show them this to be like, oh, what's the rhyme? Ab, scrab, scrabble, scrabble. At, scat, scatter, scatter. Mud, muddy. And I say sometimes Y says I or E, and they'll say that. So you guys got what I'm saying. But it's really important that you teach the students to identify the rhymes in words when you're showing them these cards. So once you're done doing this, then you can go ahead and do the next set of cards with the double inflectional ending when your students are ready, or just the double ending. Honestly, sometimes I even forget what an inflectional ending is. So like this one, ib, scrib, scribble, scribbling, scribbling. So this is what I like to call level 2 of the Rime Magic. And once your students get super good with this and they're feeling really, really confident, then you can go ahead and move on to the next set of rhymes. But you should be spelling words with these next sets of rhymes. So ace, 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 E-I-N-Y, make the C say. That's what I teach my students. Ace, 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 A, oi, 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 ow, 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 or O. And if you haven't taught your students these sounds yet, you probably have not taught them all these sounds. It's still a really, really good idea to teach them these rhymes, talk about the words in context, write the words on the board, and teach them these sounds, because then when you teach them later on in the school year, they'll have already seen these rhymes in the words. So this is super, super awesome doing the next set of rhymes. So after you do this with students, you do the same exact thing, where you are spelling the words with your fingers, and then you can move on to the last set of rhyme cards, which are the most complicated ones. So the rhyme would be ite, fright, frighten, frightening, frightening. and then you do the same thing. And ink is going to be one of the rhymes. Ink, blank, blank, at, blanket. So it's that same exact situation that you did for the first set of rhymes. And then once the students are done with this, and this will be probably, this will come up months after you start practicing the first 2 levels of rhymes. Once the students are good with this, then this is the super fun part where you can do the power pack. So I love doing the power packs now. We're halfway in the school year, my first grade class. I love doing the power packs. They're super awesome. You can just pick whichever ones you want. You can use these the whole class, intervention, one-on-one. So like this rhyme right here is going to be the in rhyme. So you do the same exact thing with students. You can review single syllable words, and then there'll be more multisyllabic. In, when. Here's a multisyllabic word. In, splin, splint, splinter, splinter. And you know, that's really cool too, because then there's a blend in here that you can teach students. So yeah, this is the Rime Magic program. I probably didn't get every single thing that I said right, but I'm seeing so much improvement in my classroom. I'm so passionate about this. Almost all of my students made growth on the iReady assessment, and I know us teachers are always like, oh, the iReady assessment, but it's super awesome. They're making growth. They're learning how to read. You can see it translate everywhere, from what they can read on the board, what they can read on the TV, the books that they're grabbing, what they're reading in small group. And when you see the progression, it's just really exciting. And I always tell people, I think every classroom in America should have Rime Magic, because it's super great for even adults, like adults who didn't learn how to read. It's super awesome. It's foolproof, and it's great practice every day, and you will see growth in students. Rime Magic, please sponsor me. Just kidding. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching the video.